The rise of young hitmen for drug cartels. These young killers, some not even old enough to drive, are being recruited by cartels to carry out brutal crimes, from assassinations to extortion. These teenage hitmen are leaving a trail of bloodshed and destruction in their wake. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind this dangerous phenomenon and the devastating impact it's having on society. So buckle up and get ready for a sobering look at the rise of young hitmen for cartels. El Ponches, Mexico, a country plagued by drug violence and cartel wars. In recent years, a new and disturbing trend has emerged: the use of young hitmen to carry out brutal killings. El Ponches, which means the cloak, is said to be paid $3,000 per murder, and has been known to leave his victims with their throats slit, their heads attached by a mere thread. Shocking videos and photos of El Ponches have surfaced online, showing the young assassin posing with various weapons and standing next to their victims. El Ponches works for the South Pacific Cartel, a little-known organization that has allied with the infamous Los Zetas to battle for control of southwest Mexico against the major La Familia cartel. Many young hitmen, like El Ponches, come from impoverished backgrounds, where there are few positive role models and the allure of cartel money and power is too great to resist. But the consequences of these actions are devastating. In the past 4 years alone, drug trafficking has been responsible for the deaths of over 31,000 people in Mexico. One of the most shocking examples of this trend is the emergence of El Brackets, a teenage hitman who has become the deadly new face of the Tropas del Infierno gang, a part of the notorious cartel del Norte. El Brackets, whose exact age is unknown, has been described in local media as a ruthless killer who wears braces on his teeth, earning him his nickname. He is known for his heavy weaponry, military-style camel gear, the communication devices such as radios and cell phones which allow him to coordinate with other members of the Hell's Troop. The images of El Brackets have caused a sensation in Mexico and beyond, with many people expressing shock and horror at the idea of a teenage hitman. But for those who live in the country, it is just another example of the extreme violence and lawlessness that has become all too common. In the case of El Brackets, there is no doubt that he is a dangerous and ruthless individual, responsible for numerous deaths and acts of violence. But he is also a victim of a broader social and political problem, one that will not be solved by simply arresting him or killing him. Instead, it requires a concerned effort to address the root cause of the drug war, including poverty, corruption, and a lack of effective law enforcement. Until these issues are addressed, young people like El Brackets will continue to be recruited by drug cartels, turning Mexico into a battlefield where the only winners are those who profit from the bloodshed. Wolf Boys. Texas is known for its cowboys, football, and big hats, but in some border towns, the law of money, drugs, and violence was too much for some teenagers to resist. This is the story of Gabriel Cardona and Rosario Bart Reta, who became infamous as the Wolf Boys, assassins for one of Mexico's most dangerous drug cartels. They grew up as best friends in Laredo, Texas, and were known as good students and star athletes, but their lives took a dark turn when they were lured into a world of violence, drugs, and cash. In 2004, Cardona was inducted into the Zetas cartel along with 70 other recruits. He was trained in combat skills by Colombian mercenaries and was selected to become an assassin for the cartel. Reta joined the cartel soon after, with Cardona as his mentor. Reta had a natural talent for killing, and soon he became known as a killing machine. During one job, Reta murdered a suspected smuggler in front of his wife and 3-year-old child. The brutality of the job seemed to thrill Reta, and he earned so much in commissions that he won $70,000 Mercedes at the cartel party. Cardona and Reta were paid a $500 retainer each week, lived in a large house in Laredo, and drove expensive cars. They were paid up to $10,000 commission for each killing, but the job came with a price. In 2006, the Zeta cartel ordered Cardona to assemble a hit squad and prepare for a massacre in which they were to slaughter the top 40 targets in Laredo, but law enforcement got wind of the impending attack and were able to stop it. The story of the Wolf Boys is told in the book of Wolf Boys, 2 American Teenagers and Mexico's Most Dangerous Drug Cartel by Dan Slater. It's a cautionary tale of how easy it is for young people to get lured into a life of violence and crime. Baby-faced killer. In the dark underworld of Mexico's drug cartels, violence and bloodshed are a way of life. And for Juanito Pistola, it was no different. Pistola's life was cut short at the age of just 16 in a gruesome shootout with the police in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. It's believed that Pistola was on his way to murder cops with other members of the Tropa del Infierno gang. This group is part of the Cartel del Norte, which controls the town of the Nuevo Laredo. Pistola had been a member of the Hell's Troop gang, which is a subgroup of the CDN, since the tender age of 13. He had risen through the ranks to become a hitman at the time of his death, according to local media reports. Nicknamed Comandante Chiquiten or Commander Little in English, Pistola was inside a van with other alleged gang members when they were reportedly ordered to ambush a police team in Nuevo Laredo. The gang was armed with rifles and dressed in military uniforms as they headed to the ambush location, close to the airport. But their plans were foiled when they were intercepted by police, leading to a fierce gun battle. Pistola and 6 of his comrades were gunned down and were pictured lifeless in the van, splattered with pieces of Pistola's skull. The gruesome images of his death spread like wildfire on social media, shocking people around the world. After police searched the van, which had US license plates, Pistola was reportedly found with his head blown off. The van had been used in an attack on the police several days before in a different part of the city. According to reports, cartels often recruit minors to work as drug smugglers. These children are lured with the promise of money and power, and many are groomed to become hitmen like Pistola. As you can see, this is normal for cartels. The violent and gruesome reality of cartel warfare is something that citizens have to live with every day. Innocent people get caught in the crossfire and the authorities seem powerless to stop the cartels from wreaking havoc in the city. This incident is just one example of the brutality that is part of daily life in this part of the world. We hope that this video would serve as a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows and the need for authorities to take action to protect citizens from such ruthless attacks. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and see you in the next video.